خَيْرُ النَّاسِ أَنْفَعُهُمْ لِلنَّاسِ. The best of people are those of greatest benefit to others. So how do you seek? Firstly, to benefit yourself through this. And secondly, it is not just a discretionary element. None of you believes until they wish for others of the good that they wish for themselves. That's not a discretionary matter. It's a condition of the completion of faith. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه من الخير ما يحب لنفسه لا يؤمن أحدكم إيمانا كاملا. None of you believes with completeness of faith until they wish for others of the good that they have wished for themselves. And it's not about wishfulness, it's seeking and loving. True seeking, true loving. So what do I want to do? And there's many pathways of good. And particularly in our times, this is a source of great opportunity. We ask someone who's been studying for years, what do you want to do with it? La-di-da. It's like, it's the Winnie the Pooh. He has that song, la-di-da, tiddly-dum. It's like, that's what most people are humming. What their states are humming. But then we're worried about the community, we're worried about the khutbahs, we're worried about this, we say we're worried about that. But your own state is just humming, la-di-da, tiddly-dum. Oh well, move on, right? That's not what it's about, right? I was in London last week and met an old friend. It's kind of funny because he was my neighbor in Damascus, but I ignored him. He's an impressive guy, but he was actually like in the same building. He was my next door neighbor. But I mainly ignored him because of one of the other people staying with him. Because I was married, he was with a couple of people. And one of them, God knows where he is now. They had a TV in the house. And this guy, you're in Damascus and you're watching soccer. I'm like, love you too. That. I think I entered their house once, and we overlapped for a good amount of time. But this guy was impressive, but he was quiet. He's still very quiet, but very, very impressive, mashallah. So we're talking. I said one of the big problems, right? And the UK, the community is much older, is that no one's calling people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? We complain that people are marrying outside the faith, and people are leaving the deen, and people are having doubts. And you can't just teach people, because you have to first call them. You have to encourage them. You have to inspire them. But no one's doing it. But why? Because people don't operate with goals. People don't operate with goals. That what is required to benefit others is not that much. It's not that much. People came to Medina. They spent a few days, a week, and they went back to their people and called them to Allah. And they came to believe. But because they came with concern and they went back with concern, so they benefited others. And for Allah to, as the Prophet ﷺ said to Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib, karramallahu wajha, Ya Ali, لَأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا وَاحِدًا خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمْرِ النَّعَمِ. That, O Ali, for Allah to guide a single soul through you is better for you than red camels, than the most prized of possessions. Okay? So what is your plan to benefit others? Right? To guide others. Like you're seeking guidance, and you're seeking to guide others. That should be the highest concern of the believer. Because that's better for you than houses and careers and everything else. Obviously, because it'll last forever. Right? But it requires a plan. Right? No, so there's levels of benefit. Right? There's levels of benefit. Right? The ultimate benefit you seek for others is guidance. But there's many levels of benefit. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا تستحقرن من المعروف شيئا. Do not deem anything of the good to be paltry. All of it is benefit. All of it's benefit. Right? And the little things are of great consequence. To visit the sick, to feed the hungry, all these different things. Sayyidina Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said that if a goat stumbled on a road, in the lands that I'm responsible for, and wounded its leg, I would feel responsible for that. Because concern is you want the good for all of it. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you except as mercy, which is concern for good, for all creation. Where Allah places you, there's many different ways. It is manifest in the Islamic crafts, for example, in traditional crafts, because those were done out of concern. Making disposable clothing, I got added to, I don't know, at least half a dozen Groupon mailing lists. So I've unsubscribed from a whole bunch of them, but I still get some. And I've not bought anything from them, but once I'll click just to see what's going on. And most of this, you have all this sense of disposable fashion. Someone who really wants benefit for others, would they really make something that will disintegrate within a year? No. Right? People have disposable clothing, and no, because that concern is manifest in fulfilling benefit for others in all its manifestations, in its work, in so many different areas. Right? It needs to be driven by that concern for benefit, and we don't secularize benefit. That it's only this benefit and not that benefit. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.